First of all, once again, thanks to Optron for inviting me to this webinar and giving me the opportunity to share some information around Trimble 4D control. So my name is Christian Abendschein and I'm a product manager within Trimble Geospatial. I'm managing our products for automated real-time monitoring, and of course Trimble 4D control is the core piece of our monitoring solution. Today I would like to use the chance and provide you with the latest news of T4D, and I would also like to highlight some of the major capabilities of the software, and last but not least share some resources with you as well. So the latest news. We had a release mid of July this year, July 14th, a release of Trimble 4D control, and the version is 6.0. So one of the focus areas for this release was really to enhance the integration with third-party packages, let's say. And T4D now is able to output processed coordinates after every round measurement of a total station. So this is a way how you can easily make information available to external systems. So this is one of the main capabilities of this last new version of T4D. We have also further enhanced the support and integration with geotechnical gateway sensor providers. Adrian just showed some slide on load sensing, on the load sensing solution. So this is something which is fully supported in T4D. And we have now, with this new version, we have now added, for example, more Sensive sensor types that are now supported, because Sensive is another provider that is supported by the software. And another example is support for LAN connections. So that means if you're not connected to the public internet. And of course, we also want to offer a reliable solution in terms of the communication. And with regard to total stations, we use the Setup M1 as a communication hub, for which we have worked on a diagnostics feature to ensure robustness. So these are the main capabilities, next to others, of course, but I just wanted to highlight some of them. Next to new features, we have also done a significant change in terms of the product structure, which means we have introduced software tiers and termed licenses with version 6.0. And with this, we are convinced that the structure offers more flexibility and easier access to Trimble 4D control. Just in a nutshell, what is new? So we have introduced 3 editions: T4D Field, T4D Intermediate, and T4D Advanced. And each of them is sold as a perpetual license next to timed licenses. Field supports total stations, Intermediate total stations plus GNSS, and Advanced also includes geotechnical support. So that's the difference from a functionality point of view. Apart from that, Field does not store time series, so this is only available in Intermediate and Advanced. And Advanced includes the powerful web application, which is something I'm going to talk about in a second. So just in a nutshell again, so it means every tier, every software edition is basically designed to be used by a certain customer type, right? So these were the latest news around T4D, and now I would like to cover some of the major T4D capabilities. The geodetics in general, called it geodetics, is certainly the core competence, or one of the core competences of Trimble, and this is also reflected by Trimble 4D control. So with T4D, you can do real-time and post-processing both for total station and GNSS raw data. And this does not only apply to Trimble equipment, as Adrian mentioned earlier, so you can also connect devices, hardware from other manufacturers, right? You can also do a network processing, network adjustment of data from multiple total stations. So if you have a site, for example, where you run multiple total stations, you can just put them together in a combined adjustment. Combined processing, I called it integrated processing here. So this means you can really use observations from a total station and from GNSS receivers and do a combined adjustment. This is, for example, beneficial if your total station has no line of sight to a stable control point in a monitoring area. So you can use the GNSS technology to bring in stability of your point coordinates, if you will. And yeah, and you can also run multiple processing engines simultaneously, of course. So if you want to, for example, process data sets in multiple ways, that's not a problem at all. I was just mentioning that that the web application is part of T4D Advanced, and T4D really offers a very powerful and intuitive web application. Here are just two examples. So you see a chart. So T4D allows for really simple and rapid charting. There is some live update facility, so you do not need to refresh your browser all the time. You can create all kind of analysis by combining data from different sensor types, and there are also a lot of different analysis types available, like a regular chart and or a tabular view, for example, or or a bar chart as visualized here on the slide. Yeah, this is something which is really powerful again, and trend analysis is also relevant if you have constant movements, for example, and you really want to monitor the velocity, the trends. So you can also do that here, and you can do analysis, right? T4D also offers various ways to visualize your data, like with a maps view, where you can choose between different base layers. Google Maps, OpenStreetMap, Bing, WMS layers is also supported, and you can also show displacement vectors and heat maps as overlays. So in a hybrid view, so to say. I'm not sure if you can see it here on my slide, but you see those displacement vectors, which are also interactive. So that means you can hover your mouse over the vectors, and then you can also see the latest observations, for example, and nice charts. Yeah, so it's really beneficial for context visualization if you have a map in the background, so you also know to which location this information actually belongs to. A composite view, that's another feature that provides you the ability to display data in different components, so different components in smaller panes, all on one page. It's a sort of a dashboard view. And such a dashboard view, as you can imagine, this is very useful in a control room environment where you have, for example, a large monitor or large monitors, and it is required that you have multiple charts, analysis, etc. just on a single monitor. So there, this is very useful. And yeah, account management. As far as the numbers of users goes, that can be that can connect to T4D. So there is no limitation in this regard. This means you can invite as many users as needed simply by sending an email. and user access rights are fully customizable as well. So you can even define your specific user roles. You might see that matrix in the middle of the slide where you can tick the permissions or the features for which you would like to have or grant access, and you can then grant this role to a specific user, for example, or to an entire user group. So this is also possible. And of course, a very important feature of any monitoring system is an automated alarming functionality, right? So T4D allows you to basically alarm on everything. So you can alarm on prism movements, you can alarm on temperature values, you can configure a no data alarm. So it's very powerful. You can also configure all sorts of alarms using information from different sensor types, like combining prism information with temperature or with pressure or GNSS data, and you can also define a lot of different alarm conditions. I have an example here where I have a merge operand OR, so that means either or of the alarm conditions must apply or must be true so that an alarm is triggered, which is, for example, or which makes it possible that just to give you an example, if you want to alarm on a prism movement, if it exceeds 2 centimeters in delta north, this should only trigger an alarm if the temperature is above 25 degrees, just a simple example. So that's possible, and you can also define recipient groups for different alarm levels, so that basically you send the right alarm notifications to the right people depending on the severity of the event. And there are different notification options available, so you can send an email, you can send an SMS, you can run a batch file, for example, and yeah, so this is really powerful. I guess in the next presentation we might see some more information on this one as well. And of course, you can also share all information from the system, so you can also create reports and do things like that, export data basically. So at the end, I have just some information on where you can find more information around monitoring, as far as Trimble is concerned, at least. So we have a website, monitoring.trimble.com. So this contains a lot of information. So from there, you can, for example, download the latest version of T4D, version 6.0 again. You will find plenty of user stories or articles of certain projects. So this is really interesting to read. We have also a YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you search for Trimble monitoring, please subscribe for the Trimble monitoring channel. You will find a lot of helpful videos. They are all between 2, 3, maybe some of them are 5 minutes in length. How-to videos, small little tutorial videos that really demonstrate certain workflows and things around monitoring and T4D. And I just want to bring this to your attention as well. So we are also doing a webinar series on a monthly cadence. So there every third Wednesday in a month there is a webinar, and always with a different topic. Right. So this was pretty much all the information I wanted to share with you. So thanks again, and I'm not sure if there are any questions.